Today, we're going to break down just one single, really powerful piece of wisdom. Seriously, it's a philosophy that could totally reframe how you look at every single challenge in your life.
Okay, so let's dive right into this iconic quote from the one and only Bruce Lee. It is so much more than just a cool motivational line you might see on a poster. It's actually a complete, actionable philosophy, and it comes in two parts.
So let's deconstruct this thing. We're going to start with the first half, which, it really goes right after a very common and, as Bruce Lee sees it, a fundamentally flawed human desire.
And that leads us right to what our source material calls the myth of easy. You know that idea of an easy life? It sounds so nice, right? So comforting. But as we're about to see, it's actually a really dangerous trap.
I mean, look at this. This just completely flips the script on what we think we want. Praying for an easy life, it doesn't lead to happiness. It leads to weakness. You end up vulnerable, totally dependent on things outside of your control. It literally conditions you to shrink away from pressure and to fear the very difficulties that could have made you stronger. So, let me put it plainly. When you're sitting there wishing for an easy life, this is what you're subconsciously asking for. You're asking to be vulnerable, to be dependent, and to live in fear of what's around the corner. Now, look at that comparison. One side is just full of these negative traits, and the other side, well, it's blank for a reason. We are about to fill that in.
And this single sentence, man, it just nails the core problem. The very setbacks, the obstacles we try so hard to avoid, those are the exact experiences that forge our character. So wishing them away is like wishing away our own potential for growth. It's crazy when you think about it like that.
Okay, so that brings us to the really powerful alternative that's in the second half of the quote. It's this major pivot away from focusing on the external world and instead turning inward to forge the strength we need from within.
So the key point is this. Look at that word crucible. A crucible isn't just a tough spot. It's a container used for melting things down at super high temperatures. It's a place of intense pressure, of total transformation. So instead of avoiding difficulty, this philosophy teaches us to see it as the only place where true mastery of a skill, of ourselves, is ever really achieved.
And you know, when Bruce Lee talks about strength, it's so important we understand what he really means. This isn't just about gritting your teeth and tolerating pain. Nope. It's an active, intentional process. It's about developing your inner fortitude, what the Source calls the muscles of the spirit, so you're ready to handle the inevitable challenges life is going to throw at you.
And the best part is, this isn't just some vague idea. The philosophy actually lays out an actionable path. So, step 1, become resilient. This means you got to reframe failure. It's not a stop sign, it's a lesson, it's a detour. Then, step 2, become courageous. You start facing challenges head on, and you build this confidence that you can handle whatever comes next. And that, of course, leads to step 3, become self-reliant. You stop waiting for somebody to come rescue you, and you become your own hero.
When you put it all together, when you synthesize both halves of the quote, you arrive at this ultimate takeaway: becoming your own hero. Real victory, it isn't found in a life without problems. It's found in the struggle itself.
Which brings us right to the final message that just perfectly sums up this whole philosophy. The real victory isn't in avoiding the fight, but in knowing you have the strength to stand in the arena. The goal isn't a life without battles. The goal is to become the kind of person who is ready for any battle.
So, we'll end with a question for you to think about. Because this philosophy, it's not just something to think about, right? It's a call to action. It's all about preparation and being intentional. So what arena in your career, your relationships, your personal growth, what arena are you preparing to stand in?